Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna make a haunted mirror. I have this old mirror here that I am no longer using, and since it's August, of course, I'm thinking about Halloween, and we're gonna turn this into something spooky so I can reuse the mirror into something that I would actually use. I think I would put it out as a Halloween decoration. So, to do that, I have some pictures of ghosts to put into the mirror. So I have like a mom, a little daughter, and then a handprint, which I think I'm gonna put like the daughter with the handprint and then the mom above her. Since it's a pretty big mirror, I thought 2 ghosts would help kind of fill up the mirror. Then I have this metallic gold spray paint, which I'm gonna take the frame and make it gold. And then this is looking glass spray paint. I just got it from Michael's. It kind of creates that mirror effect, which is how we're gonna get the ghosts to appear in the mirror kind of seamlessly. So to begin, I am just going to clean down the mirror because it's been sitting in my garage. I'm gonna clean both the glass and the outer frame. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is take the mirror apart. I'm gonna unscrew these metal things from the back and take this cardboard off and see if we can get the mirror out from the frame. Okay, so now we have this back panel, which we are going to remove. On here with some stapled on here. So we're gonna see if I can just rip them out. That came up easy. Okay, we'll separate our 2 pieces. So we need to remove this back layer of the mirror, and essentially the looking glass spray paint that we have is what's going to replace this. So I have acetone and citrus strip, which is a paint and varnish stripping gel. These are just things that I have laying around from other crafts, and we're gonna try them out and see if they work. Let's start with the acetone. See if we can get the first couple layers off, and then we'll try the citrus strip. I think I'm just gonna pour some on here. Okay. That didn't really do anything. That's not gonna work. Looks like it maybe took up a tiny bit, but it's gonna take forever. So we're gonna skip that. Okay, so we're gonna use the citrus strip instead. So it's kind of hot outside and sunny outside today, which they don't recommend for using this. So I'm gonna bring this into the garage and we're gonna apply it over, let it sit for 30 minutes, and then see if we can scrape it off. I have it laying down here. I'm gonna put some gloves on to protect my hands. So once again, we're using citrus strip. You can just get it at Home Depot, those type of stores. That's where I got mine. So the instructions are protect your hands, shake well. They recommend putting on with a paintbrush, but I'm just gonna use my hand. we're gonna spread it around, let it sit for 30 minutes, and then come back and gently scrape it and see if the paint is coming up. Okay. And we're just gonna rub it around. Okay. It looks pretty well coated. I'm gonna let it sit for 30 minutes and come back and see if it's starting to chip away. While we're waiting for that to sit, I'm going to spray the frame. So I'm gonna go outside, lay some cardboard down, bring the frame outside, and we're gonna use this metallic gold spray paint and spray the frame. All right, so now we just wait for both of those to dry. The spray paint worked okay, but it does have, it kind of gets a little clogged and just like spurts, so there's little splotches everywhere. So we might do a second layer, see how it goes, but I'm not sure if it's gonna work any better a second time, so I think it'll be okay for this because we're kind of going for like a vintage, rusticy, distressed, old, haunted mirror look. But if you're going for something that you're going to use every day in your house as decor and you want it to be nice and seamless, I would probably roll some paint on there or brush some paint on there instead of using this because the metallic colors don't spray very well. All right, so I'll see you when those are dry. We've let it sit and now you can see the gray is starting to peel up. So we are going to try and scrape it off. All right, I have just a little putty knife here and I'm just gonna try and, oh, wow. Okay, that was easy. You should see this up close. Hold on. So the citrus strip actually worked really well. We just like not even pushing down at all, and it's just kind of peeling everything right up. So I'm just gonna scrape this whole thing off. Okay, so I've scraped it all off, but there's still like residue on here from the citrus strip, so I'm gonna get some cleaner and we're going to try and clean it off. Okay, so from my research, we have found out that typically mirrors have 3 layers on the back sides. There's a paint layer, a copper layer, and then a silver layer. So the citrus strip removed the paint layer and the copper layer, and now we still have this silver layer left, and supposedly bleach and a little scrub brush, we should let us scrub off that silver layer, and then it'll basically leave us with a see-through piece of glass. Just pour a little bit in there and see if we can scrub it off. So it looks like it's working. You can see this big circle is where I put the bleach on, and the rest of this should end up looking like that. And then hopefully when we lift it up, it'll be see-through. So that was pretty easy. We're gonna just keep doing that along that entire mirror. Okay, so it's working. As you can see where I've put the bleach and where I haven't. So it kind of turned black, and then as you can see that down there, it's hard to tell. Oh, here you go. You can see we put the bleach here, and now you can see through it. These copper parts are part of the little bit of the layer that was above this that didn't get removed, and so we either will put some more citrus strip over this to get rid of that, or I could just leave it since I'm going for more of a vintage kind of old look, that maybe those being left will actually help get the look that I'm going for. Okay, so I've used it everywhere, and we're left with a see-through piece. With a see-through piece of glass, you can totally see through it. Looking at it from this side, these copper bits look gray and silver. I'm gonna bring my pictures out and see, but I think I might leave it because I think with the pictures showing through it, like it's gonna help give it like an old rustic kind of the ghosts are hiding look, so I don't know that I'm gonna fix it. Okay, so the next step is getting our pictures ready. So I just printed these off. I just Googled like Victorian ghost woman and cropped it so it's just her face. So I'm just gonna take it, my scissors, and just cut around her face, cut it out. And then I also have a little girl and like a hand print. So I'm gonna put the woman on top, the little girl, and put this hand down below so it looks like the little girl is like palming the mirror, trying to like get out like she's stuck in it. So we're just gonna cut around the faces, and then we're ready to spray paint the glass. So I cut them out, so they're just like closely cut around their faces. Now I'm gonna bring the mirror outside along with the looking glass spray paint. This right here, this looking glass spray paint, and we're basically going to take the faces, lay them down where we want them to be, and we're gonna take this and we're gonna spray paint the glass all around where the faces are. Apply 5 very thin layers. Wait 1 minute between each coat. Dries in 10 minutes, handle in an hour. So we're gonna take this, we're gonna put these down. We're gonna spray paint 3 coats around these, and then we're gonna do 2 coats that go on top of these. And so then it'll kind of blend in with the others, but the rest of it, these ones should be still a tiny bit see-through so you can see the faces, versus the other parts are not going to be see-through at all. They should be pretty solid. Then after that, we're just gonna take these and glue them in place, and then we're just gotta put the mirror back together. So I put 5 layers of that spray paint on. We did 2 layers on top of the pictures, and then 3 layers just going around the edges of the pictures. So now I'm gonna let that sit for 10 minutes, and then we'll go lift the mirror and see what it looks like. So I've removed the pictures, and we kind of have these hard edges around where our pictures were. So I'm going to take what's left of my spray paint and just do 2 light layers around the edges of where the pictures are to kind of soften that edge a little bit and make it blend a little more seamlessly. This mirror is pretty big, so it did take this entire container of spray paint to do this. I could maybe do another layer of paint, but I don't have enough, and I think when we put the backing on, you're not gonna be able to tell. So I'm just gonna use this around these little edges here to soften it up. Okay, now I'm just gonna let that dry. It says for an hour, and then we're going to glue the pictures in place. Now that that's dry, we're gonna glue these in place. My spray glue is dried up and not working, so we're gonna use Mod Podge instead. But if you have a spray glue, that would be pretty simple to just spray, lay your photo down. We're gonna pick our mirror up. Put the photos in, check and make sure that it looks okay. I think it's gonna look good. So I'm gonna glue it in place. I'm gonna take this, and I think I'm gonna apply apply it to the picture instead of the mirror. So we'll take a little bit and somehow I got some spray paint on it. Just gonna take a very thin layer and go over the whole picture with it. Okay, the Mod Podge, it goes on white, but it should dry clear. Just gonna make sure we don't have any big clumps on top of it. And I'm gonna take it, make sure it's lined up pretty nicely here, and just kind of press it down. Okay. Now we have the little girl. Same thing. Press it down, make sure it's flat. And lastly, the hands. Making sure it's the right way. That would have been embarrassing if it was upside down. Okay. Now, I've been wearing gloves because the mirror has some sharp edges and I've got some cuts on my hands. I'm gonna pick it up and see how it looks. Okay, I would say it looks pretty good. You can see kind of that creepy face in there, and there. The hand didn't quite turn out, but that's okay. There is a little bit of gaps in here that I'm gonna try and fix. Wasn't lined up perfectly, and we have a tiny bit of spray paint left, so those should be good. And we'll just take our spray paint, see if we got any left. And I'm just gonna go over the pictures, kind of fill in the gaps from around the pictures. That's about. There we go. Okay, that's empty. All right, now we're gonna let that finish drying and then we're gonna put the mirror back together. All right, the last step to finishing up this mirror is stapling this back piece on. So I got my staple gun and I'm just gonna go around the edge and staple it back in place. I think it's on, so let's tip it up and see what we got. Okay. Looks pretty good on. Gonna set it up and show you guys the final results. So when I stand back, you can see the two faces. We got the mom and the little girl. It looks nice. I think with some spooky lighting and spider webs and stuff, it will look pretty cute for Halloween.